And welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm so happy to have you. So my pre-listeners and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing what went on in DC, specifically between the National Guard and the shooter. Now, for about good 4 to 5 weeks ago, I did a video and Spirit was telling me that there was going to be an event that was going to occur around Thanksgiving. There was going to be what quote unquote what they call the Thanksgiving disaster. And we're going to act the card today is what happened, part of what Spirit has told me. Now, I don't want you guys to say, Chris, you were right, your intuition was correct. No, don't give me the credit. Give my guys the credit. They're the ones who told me. I would have never known had they not said anything. So give them the credit. Anyway, this video is just for entertainment and for educational purposes only as well. And this video is being recorded on none other than Thursday, November the 27th at 2:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I do want to send all my gratitude and appreciation to all of you guys who help support the channel in some capacity. I love you, I thank you, and I love you so, so much. And I'm severely grateful for everything you have given to the channel. I want to be able to extend my love and appreciation to you. So for those of you guys who are celebrating Thanksgiving, I am thankful for you. And for those of you guys who are not, regardless, I hope you have a lovely day. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's start the reading of today's video. Let's see what's going on. If you want to watch my other videos in terms of the Thanksgiving disaster, I'll put them in the link and at the end of today's video. Plus, I do have some other Thanksgiving videos as well that's separate from politics. We have a Thanksgiving singing bowl. You can go into a meditative trance and actually interact with people during the first Thanksgiving. Then I also did a tarot card reading with Sharon, psychic, and we were able to talk about some of the things that Native Americans did and how they're going to make a comeback. So if you want to go ahead and watch those videos, they're separate from politics. I'll put them in the end. I'll put them in the description below and at the end of today's video. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's begin. I hate long intros, so do you. My mouth is a little dry, which is why my tongue has been twisting and turning, so I do apologize in advance to all of you guys. Alright, so Spirits and angels, tell me about what happened in Washington, D.C. between the National Guard and the shooter. Now, the National Guard, two of them were found dead, or at least not found dead, but they ended up passing away soon after they were shot. So, spirits and angels, tell me what's going on. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords and Justice. We have the law here, law and order. That's what I'm getting, law and order. We have the Queen of Swords. Now, if you guys have known, if you've been with me for quite a while, you will know that this is the card that represents the law, right? Following with the law. And here is the Justice card, order. Order in the court, right? The Justice, law and order. Now, in the past, when I did the Thanksgiving video, specifically the most recent one, I think it was the last video, I talked about how there was going to be a political event that was going to happen, and it's going to allow the president to consolidate power, specifically through means of consolidation of it in more larger quantities. Something like this allows for that ability to happen. Now, I'm not saying that this was accidental or this was planned, but the fact that my guys told me about 6 weeks in advance kind of indicates that this was in the works, that this was premeditated. It was not acted upon in the moment. It was planned, which means they knew the guards were going to be there at that scheduled time. I guess they didn't really intend to shoot a specific guard, and possibly more than anything, it would just shoot anybody who just happened to be standing right there in that position. Anyway, going back into the reading, what else, Spirit, do you want to tell me? What else? We have the Wheel of Fortune, so this means go in the future. Oh, okay. So, the Wheel of Fortune reverse means in the future. Because this one is upright, means going backwards, means going back to the past. Relearning. Instead, this is learning, this is the future. And it falls underneath the Queen of Swords, which means law. Something with law and order. And here's the president. This is the card that always symbolizes Donald Trump, the King of Pentacles, the moneymaker. Law and order. Somebody who consolidates. Look at all that green. That looks more consolidation of power. Now, what is green? Green is the heart center. The thing about Donald Trump and how he's able to consolidate power is starting to become a little bit more clear to me. Donald Trump is consolidating power by creating certain events that allows him to have empathy from others. that not only is Donald Trump thriving off of the state of fear, but he's also thriving off the, the emotion of faith. So Donald Trump thrives on two different things: fear and faith. Donald Trump is creating that empathy factor that allows people to look up to him. What Donald Trump is trying to set the stage for is to become one of those wartime presidents where a consolidation of people within the country back that leader. Kind of like what happened with George W. Bush during 9/11 with the attacks on the Twin Towers in New York City. Donald Trump is trying in some capacity to create that normality, to create that under his administration. He only needs about 52% of the population to really be behind him, be supportive of him. And by doing that, he can do whatever he wants. He can consolidate, 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 and he can put it under the guise of terrorism or an attack from within. Right? That's a form of consolidation of power. Now, underneath this card here, we have the Six of Cups. This is the past administration. This was handed in from the past administration. So something from the past that happened under Biden is going to take effect during Donald Trump's term. Possibly it could be the immunity issue, specifically the immunity case, but Donald Trump might do something so illegal, so egregious. But because of what Supreme Court did, it allowed him to get away with this. Something that didn't happen under the past administration in terms of the abuse, but it can be abused in the future. Now, this could be anything. I'm just using that as an example. The top of the deck here, we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups looks, it's the picture, it's an image. This is somebody who's sitting down with their achievement. But the camera is showing us this. This is what the camera wants to show us. And what Spirit is telling us is to not look at what the camera is showing. Look at who's the one who's recording it. Who's the one who's framing it. You know, so they're saying to look at the evidence that happened during the attack and to look at it from a different perspective. Don't look at it from the media perspective or what they want to show it. Look at it from the perspective of who was recording at the time in which the event happened. Look at it from an alternate perspective to better understand what is happening at its roots. We also have here the clarifier card, which is the Three of Cups. This was supposed to be a moment of striking fear. Specifically, timeliness was very important because what I'm getting here, the intention of this event occurring was designed to have a conversation during Thanksgiving. If you don't think people are going to suddenly start talking about the attack in DC, that's recent, that is fresh, that's in a lot of people's mind. It's in the news cycle right now. People are going to talk about it during Thanksgiving. What was this event designed to do? To have a conversation starter to turn the conversation away from the daily issues like the economy, the ability to have Black Friday sale, you know, all those different things, be able to afford food on your table, Christmas, you know, all those things, instead of shift the focus onto being under attack or having an attack occur. So it's really about the paradigm shift of shifting the narrative when people are collecting. There's a reason why the government opened up before Thanksgiving, because imagine what the government would have been had the government been permanently shut down, right? Imagine what that would have looked like, right? People would have been talking about that, but now they're not even just talking about the shutdown. Everybody probably forgot about the shutdown. And on the next new thing. This is what it is. It's the next new thing. So based on what I'm getting already from the cards, it looks like in some capacity this was premeditated in some capacity. Now go ahead and watch my first Thanksgiving disaster video and follow with part 2. Those two things will give you a sense of clarity and understanding about what happened in DC and to understand why it occurred. Because remember, Spirit told me 6 weeks in advance. I had visions 6 weeks in advance. I had understanding and experiences of what's called the January 6th attack 1 week in advance. So there are things there that Spirit tells you that you're not meant to know months in advance, or sometimes weeks, days in advance. This is one of those things. And I'm in no capacity am I taking any credit, because I don't want you guys to give me any credit in any capacity, because you know what? My guys are the ones who told me they deserve the credit, and besides, I don't need to inflate my ego. My ego does not need it. I don't need it. You know, even if I ever say something that's right in the future, I don't need the credit. I don't. Here you have it, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is situated in the right direction. So there is somebody who's watching very closely. I feel like this is the mayor. So Spirit Angels, tell me, what else do we need to know about the situation in DC? What happened? Let's ask the question. Was this premeditated to shift the narrative on Thanksgiving about what has happened in DC? From away from daily conversations like the economy, the ability to afford food, the inability to afford your rent, stuff like that. What is going on, Spirit? Okay. Let me get some water. I'm like not feeling best. Okay. Okay, so we have our three of swords, followed by the nine of cups. Okay, so we're acting this is premeditated. So slain on TV. So there was a recording. This is purpose. This was purposeful. Because if somebody wanted to not get caught, be able to do something, you would do it when there's no cameras. You would do it where it cannot be seen. But this is telling me here that this person wants to be seen. Whoever did this wanted to be seen doing it. Here is the four of cups reverse. Now here's the thing that I'm going to tell you guys right now. Even though I said the three of swords is like somebody wants to see them, be doing the thing, it doesn't mean that it has to be the individual firing the shot. It could be the thing that happens in the moment, which would be the soldiers getting shot. Like this is the slain, this is the television, this is what we see on the screen, this is what the media shows us. The four of cups is telling us the refusal. It tells me something was designed to refuse aid in some capacity. It almost feels like aid or first aid was not administered correctly, or somebody refused it under a certain direction of orders. Now, again, this video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. It is followed by judgment card, the judgment. So this is telling me here that this was premeditated. Somebody, like, this is like going to be a new thing. It almost feels like soldiers, and specifically for those of them who are completely loyal to the government. We have the slain. I wonder if 3 people got killed. Here is the television, this is the media, followed by the four of cups, the verb, which means the refusal to accept medical help. And here is the news media announcing the death of the National Guards. This is telling me here that there were an order that was given that refused them or allowed them to refuse aid, so that there's an announcement that could be made on death. Because look at all these people, they're open armed, they're taking the news with happiness, with gleefully, gullible, right? This is the judgment card. The judgment card is saying it's the announcement, it's the ability for you to connect to Donald Trump on a way that you never connected before, through the formation of empathy, through the formation of what to call it, through faith, through hope, right? The judgment card is just telling you this is what the media wants you to do, and it's giving you a specific narrative. And the cards are saying here, we don't have full confirmation here, because I'm not a medical licensed practitioner, I'm just a YouTuber. This is for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. But it is indicating here that there was medical help that was provided, but it was refused under specific orders, which tells me that it was under an order or a paradigm that this person who refused it is either really scared of the individual, or they are loyal to the very end, or but yet it coming from somebody who actually provides orders from the headmaster in some capacity. The next card that comes up is the Knight of Cups reversed, which means a proposal backwards, which means there was an offer. So this tells me here that the media given the narrative, and here it's a slain, which means that this was premeditated. This is premeditated. The event was premeditated. We have the Nine of Cups. The media provided an offer to the slain, or to the murderer, or the one doing the damage. Right, so this was in contention. This wasn't like out of the blue. We have a Chariot card in reverse. Here's my ambulance card. If you've been with me since 2020, you will be familiar with the ambulance card. If you didn't think that I was right the first time when I said that, there was medical help that was refused in some capacity, even if they were put in the ambulance, doesn't mean that they were administered medical help. They could easily refuse that inside the ambulance because we couldn't see. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. And I'm not saying that I'm right and they're wrong. I'm just saying that's what the card is telling me. And here you have the chariot card here, which is reversed, which tells me the ambulance with the medical part is just further emphasizing there wasn't any aid in the hospital in any capacity. I wonder if they died on their way to the hospital. We do have here, though, as well, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups in Judgment. Right here is just making the call, refusing and making a call. This is the Tower card in reverse. This is not as big as an event as people think it is. This is just more like a standalone, but it's like a test trial, I would say, because it's a test trial because this is testing the stamina of the country and whether or not it's willing to bend to certain national events. So what am I getting here? What do we see so far in the card? The cards are essentially saying a few things. That this was premeditated, that there was a proposal that was brought to create a certain narrative and event or situation. It was designed to get the empathy and faith of other people to back the government, those who are reluctant or an inability to refuse, to get them to back the government, to consolidate power further by using an excuse like this, a reason, and people will be more likely to brush off authoritarian tendencies by creating certain national event that gets them to be like, oh, he's just protecting the country. That's what he's doing. So that's what it's really telling us about. It's also saying that there was medical help that was refused, that the judgment card is slowly saying here it was designed to make an announcement to cause chaos, to kind of sway the people away from talking about certain things during Thanksgiving, instead talking about what recently happened because it's fresh in people's mind. We have here as well is that they might have died on their way to the hospital. That is yet to be confirmed. At least I don't know if you guys want to confirm that. You want to check me, go ahead in the comment section below. And then we also have here, we have the Tower card in reverse, which tells me this is a test run for a larger scale event. So the way the country responds to this event is going to be telling of what's to come in the future. So the moral of the story is premeditated, planned, is going to dictate what happens next. And what happens next is a larger, bigger scale, and it's all about consolidation of power and some capacity, whether that's in formation of the government in the US or formation of a government exterior of the United States, so somebody outside the U.S. who is trying to consolidate power within the U.S. And it had nothing to do with, what to call it, with like certain nations. It had to do with an ally. So an ally is more likely the one puppeteering this event, but not somebody who is an enemy. I don't feel intuitively that it's an enemy. Could be wrong, but it could be an enemy in terms of like how they present themselves, but they present themselves as an ally. So it's an ally of the United States, but it's an enemy at heart. That's the better way to describe that. So that's what I'm getting. It's a narrative to try to get people to change their minds on how they view certain collective of people. So there is a lot of benefits to what to call it, to how this is ran. Now remember, this guy is from Afghanistan as well, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, that they just caught the guy. The FBI said that they're going to catch the right person or they're going to catch somebody despite them actually having somebody in apprehension. But we'll talk a little bit more about this later on. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Is there anything else, Spirit? Okay, they're saying they're good. The bottom deck here, we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lockdown somewhere. I feel like a lockdown. On the top of the deck here, we have Six of Swords going to smoother, calmer water. So there is a push to bring peace somewhere. Peace. Is to try to spin a narrative to get people to be on the opposition side of whatever goal they're trying to push forward. But that's what I'm getting. Alright, that's it. Anything else? Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and hit the hype button as well. It really helps boost the channel out. And I really do appreciate all of you guys. I love you. Have a great night and happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for you. I'm grateful for you. And let me know in the comment section below what you're grateful for. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon, and there'll be more videos coming out soon. Bye.